Hello. We are back. A super late marathon session last night. I think I wanted to finish last night, but I just couldn't. That final section was taking. It was going and going and going. It was a lot of fun. Yesterday afternoon, we went to the location called the House at the Edge of Time. Hold on, closing my phone down so we don't get stuff. We fought waves and waves of really hard enemies, super hard encounters, and it was so frustrating that I eventually lowered the difficulty. Then I wrapped that section up and bumped the difficulty back up, but not to the point where I had it before. We've stopped Narissa. We have turned her to our side, and we're facing off the true evil behind the evil, the true villain behind the villain, and he has merged our world with the first world and ripped our kingdom up. Capitals, floating islands, and we are taking the fight to him. He is somewhere. Let's see, where is he? I mean, there was a spot where we could see him on the other map. I guess you can't see him on this map. We're collecting 3 fragments of this artifact. We're having Kakar. Where's the storyteller? There he is. We're having the storyteller destroy them. And we're trying to... I think we're going to make it. We have plenty of time. Let's see, did we destroy the second quest? Oh, we were trying to figure this out. We need to look for him near Sorrowflow. This is what I was going to do. I'm going to load up our game. And from before. Because at some point... At some point, our tiefling friends got scooped up by their father, but I have a quest to go meet them someplace. But I don't think I can actually get there. There was no option to... There was no option to, because all we could do is we couldn't leave the map. Every time we tried to leave the map, it basically just brought up a portal.
I'm hungry. When we stop. Follow my lead.
So if we come up here to our exit, but do we even have them on the list? Yeah, I don't even have them on our listing. Let's back up even more. I'm trying to remember at what point did they... on the list here? Yeah, see, they're still here at this point.
Follow my lead.
So something happened, and we came back from a place, and they were taken. Problem is, I don't have a save game. Because they were just quick saves, I guess. Well, it was only an hour of... Like, this says 21, 23, so it's 2 hours of play. So I'm not going to worry about it for now. If we need to, we can go back to that hard save and yeah, that's what I'll do. I have that hard save. That stuff I did wasn't very difficult. It just took some time. I'm totally fine going back and trying it, but for now, I didn't ever really use them except for their quests. They weren't integral to my story. So we're just going to talk to the storyteller. And we're gonna get a rest. Of course, but please don't forget time is running out. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, I think we've got plenty of time. This says 18 days. So I think we're gonna be okay. A good fight, no paperwork.
Follow my lead.
Consider me provoked.
These guys are chaotic. No, neutral. Neutral. Let's stop. Let's go ahead and do evil.
I'm still here.
Might as well do that stuff.
Don't hesitate. I am prepared.
And then
Focus on the goal.
this lasts 1 minute per level, so
Manishrim Sukino.
Blur
Manishrim
all these.
Sukino. Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino.
okay, let's do this. This lasts an hour. You do this. Dog, that lasts an hour. This lasts an hour. Is this? Oh, that's rounds. Problem with that. That doesn't. How long
What's the
does
holdup?
legendary portions last? 1 minute per level. We get big, not.
We will be victorious! Let us strike as one!
I do like that every one of these fights.
Grant your death.
Hoping not fight back. Best kind of fight. Knock-knock used to lighting enemies on fire first. Knife time.
I do like that my pet is just.
This is for you.
Your strike wasted.
Can't seem to do anything to make my pet just fine.
am yours to command.
Garbage.
Who's there? Lamash.
You guys like those falchions?
I know the way.
They're all over it.
Here.
Yeah, let's check our. Okay. Why is I don't know what to do to make my pet not just be like super scared all the time. His saves are his will save is 11. I mean, I think he'd be able to survive. Oh gosh.
Patience.
Let's take that greater extend draw. What do we have that lasts 1 minute and 1 round? Power. Extend. This one, greater extend. Can be used with spells of 9th level or. So she could use it on her aspect. He's got this. She get greater in power. Okay, so we'll put it on him. Empower his aspect. So,
I'll go ahead.
can we go through the fire? Okay, so that's not fire that we can try to walk through. That's the way we came, I thought. I'm so confused. Where did we come from? It was so late last night, I don't remember.
All according.
We left some loot up here, which makes me think. Yeah, there's a chest up there. How do I get up there?
I am your shield, as you order. Give the order.
How do I get up there? We saw a box. I think we jumped down from up there last night. It was tired. It was late last night. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll do this really quick. Let's just back up. Try this. Let's see where this put us.
My bag.
We're
At
here.
an end.
We went in here. Let's do it. Okay, so yeah, we had to fight this golem. Did this.
Who
Doing
will
that.
prevail? Does it matter?
We murdered him. And we searched the room for loot. And
Where
the only
now?
loot we saw was here.
Follow me.
Listening as hard as I can.
We went out this way. Now where did it put us? This is why you shouldn't play as late as I was playing last night. Okay, so it put us right here. Okay, so let's go back to our save. Okay, so we also need to do this. Let's check our inventory for that belt. Because I don't remember. Yeah, we don't have it. He's wearing 8. He's wearing 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. Did I not loot it? Or did one of those... I really, really, really shouldn't play that late at night. I make mistakes. Like not clicking on that box. Okay. Okay, so who do we want to give the 8 to? Thinking Knock Knock. I wonder if that bonus to saving throws stacks on top of their normal fort saves or whatever. Because I'm thinking... he doesn't need this for his dex save. And I could easily give him... gave it to somebody else. Here. Roll armor bonus 5. Add. This. Okay, well, seeing that I can't find it. That gives him a bonus to death effects. 3 armor bonus. But I could put the 3 armor bonus there and give him a helmet, like constant death spell. Wisdom and immunity to stun and day. Oh, well, that gives him a bonus 2d6 for a sneak attack, though. We'll do that. We'll just leave him. Awesome. But now he's even more stabby stab. Lots more stabby.
Give the
So
order.
we want to find
I'm listening.
where
I am yours to command.
to go
Don't hesitate. As you order. I am your shield.
here. No. Can you climb up there? Oh my gosh, there's 2 chests up there. Full plate.
Give the
plus
order.
5?
I know the way.
Oh. Full plate plus 5. Yeah, but I mean, it kind of equals out because this gives him max dex of 2. And this is max dex of 1. So if I do this, his armor class is going to change. All I do is lose access to heroism. Although I think his touch AC goes up. Oh, it's sorry, it's flat-footed AC. Is it 17 touch? Yes. Flat-footed goes up, his touch goes down. I'm gonna keep his touch. Okay, we can't go that way. Oh, this is the fire. So go down. We can go. Oh, we can climb down here. I think that's where we
All
came.
according to plan.
Yes, there. I don't think we looted that chest.
To victory!
That hurt?
Good, you
Let us
get
strike as one!
I twisted. Hey,
Okay, well that.
listening as hard as I can.
I know the way.
This way. Go to the south here first. Oh my gosh, this stupid image.
Oh, sorry. Was lost in thought.
Here. I am yours to command.
Guy from.
I'm not afraid.
Shadow
Consider me
Jabberwock.
provoked.
Ah!
Little bomb. here. You. Guess you're just running around. Oh my gosh, more Everlocks. Let's integrate this thing. You disintegrate?
This is for you.
Get that.
That one went deep.
Okay, she's gonna need to maximize power. That balance. Charge this. Put you in defensive stance. Arm. I don't think this will work. There we go. Take you out of defensive stance.
Do not falter!
And take that. How do you like running around? Look at my dog. My dog. Oh, take that. We're almost out of bombs, aren't we? I'm dead.
Bullseye.
Ooh. Like trying to figure out why I didn't get bombs. Deposit longbow +5 for each.
Me?
Builds.
Don't hesitate. I'm listening. Give the order. Follow me.
I just heard little ding sound. But I don't see anything. Where's Oakwood? There it is. It was under Valley. Breastplate puzzle. Can't. This is going to be the third artifact.
In due time.
I don't know how we get to this. We get up here. Ravaged capital, castle threshold. Let's see if we can find some information about this. Ravaged capital, castle, old. Okay. I have an idea. We're gonna. There it is. We're gonna try. I think I might have an item that gives me. Had been a look. Those. Let's check this. Let's check all their ability.
I'm open to your orders.
Focus on the goal.
The end draws near.
I am your shield.
Probably had it, but it was on somebody else. So let's do this. Go talk to the storyteller. Rest. The time's running out.
Here!
Else.
I'll go ahead. I won't let you down.
Okay. Go all the way up here. Try to. Since we could see up to this little cliff, I thought it was going to be a climbing. Everybody get.
Keep your eyes open.
Gather up, everybody.
Ready and willing.
Gather up. Here we go. Door.
Esto, access, yes.
There we go. Ha ha ha.
A trivial matter.
Yeah. Greater quicken rod. And bring your protection +5. Well, the problem is we can't get down. I'm so dumb.
All according to plan.
Maybe we have a scroll. We'll have to go back and reload. I wonder what dimension door looks like. Placement. Or if we do sort by scroll of corrosive. There it is. Scroll. Yes, we have one. We can get back. Everybody gather up.
Where now?
I am yours to command.
I know what to do.
Wait. Who has it? Better.
Esmo, Axe, yes.
Okay. Whew. Oh, I didn't want to rest again. I probably could have reloaded. It's done.
I know the way.
All right, storyteller. Yes, the third and last one. Prepare yourself. With the third fragment, barriers around your castle will fall. Okay. Okay, so I'm guessing now we can go. Up here, yep. Gone. Heading. Have fun. Farming. Princess Bride reference. Can't leave Calcium behind. Okay, I hope he's voiced because his voice is so good.
Spring. Greetings, eldest. Do you hear the distant thunder? The time has come. The time to settle everything once and for all.
Once and for all, it's been 200 plus hours.
Words, words. How little value we attach to them, and how much they truly mean. But I've grown tired of words and prophecies. I will no longer predict chaos and death. Instead, I will show them to you, myself.
Oh, that thundercloud.
Oh, yes, the time has come! The time of fate and curses!
We should have buffed. We should have buffed before we started. Yeah, as a matter of fact, here's what we're gonna do. There's no reason for us not to put our hour-long buffs on. Also, this music is freaking awesome. I want... okay, so yeah, there's no reason not to put... like, that's 1 minute. That's not what we do. This... We could put that on, and we could put this on.
No mistakes.
Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino. Manishrim Sukino.
You can count on me.
Time's not waiting.
Ona Adayana. Ona Adayana. Ona Adayana. Ona Adayana.
Here!
Okay, do a quick save right here. Okay, now we're buffed. All we have to do is put haste on when we start. We're good to go. Hey, final boss time. Yeah, this will be fun. Yeah, Z, it's been epic building here. So, what do we need? We need to haste. Oh, let's do this too, in case we do poison cloud. Or whatever. Okay, we already did all this.
Oh, yes, the time has come! The time of fate and curses!
Who will prevail? Does it matter?
Okay, let's see if we can hold everybody here while I put haste on. Then let's get this, that. Oh my gosh, Octavia. Wait, what?
And will be. Definitely will be.
Okay, well. He just straight up murdered Octavia. We need to get up there and hit him. That's what we need to do.
No mistake.
Okay, let's go ahead and cast this here.
The end draws near.
And you cast this. Okay. You are also going to cast your... this. You are going to cast your...
was lost in thought.
Okay. Now let's save. And then we'll go in. And then this time we're going to cast our summons before we fight. I was like, there's no time to cast summons. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Okay, so let's inch
Don't
forward
hesitate.
just a little bit.
I am your shield. I am
Okay,
yours to
it's doing
command.
that thing where I can't move again.
Here, as you order.
Hey, don't trigger the thing. Good grief. You summon this here. You summon this here.
Focus on the goal.
You don't have a summons. But you know what? It's worth it. You cast that. And cast this. You're gonna cast even more summons. You cast your thing over there.
You can count on me.
You cast your thing over here. Oh. Okay. That got a little too close.
Oh, yes, the time has come! The time of fate and curses!
To victory!
Knock Knock used to lighting enemies on fire first.
This should do it.
Yes!
You don't seem to like my curses! Maybe you like my jokes better?
Oh, gosh. Okay, his reflex save is really high. His fortitude save is low. Will negates. What's his will save? 15. So that's the real one. The strong one. Okay, so let's do that there. There we go. Keep him busy, keep him busy. Oh, there's more back here. Okay. All this is the prelude, I bet.
The time for laughter is past. It's the hour of hunting and chaos.
Oh, these guys. What does he have? Will is still his lowest. Oh gosh. Let's do this. We got him. Enough. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. This is gonna be bad. Knock Knock is in the bubble. Although this could be great. Why? Oh, okay. As soon as the Horn Hunter's body disappears in the fire, the destroyed throne room is flooded with light. The Lantern King in his true blazing form appears in the middle of the room. His furious mask is ringed by the fire. The games have ended. Time freezes like resin, trapping you, and the eldest in the amber light, and this light grows brighter. Knock Knock is on fire. The rays pass through you, pierce you, ruthlessly bearing your most intimate secrets, fears, and desires. Something inside you resonates with the light of the eldest, your curse. It is like the splinter of an arrow that remains in the wound, a slow weapon crawling towards your heart. So I'm like Tony Stark. As soon as the rays touch it, it begins to heat up and then burns with intolerable pain.
Time for masks is over. You risk challenging an eldest, and I accept the challenge. You will fight not a mere embodiment, but my true essence. This is my essence. I don't need magic or servile monsters to destroy you. Words are enough. Yes, words. I once told you, words spoken in the right time and place possess the power of the storm.
This is awesome.
You lightheartedly answer that you know what your power and essence are.
Oh, this guy's fun.
The desire to help people whose grief touches you. I remember your answer. The world remembers it too. Your answer, your heart, your essence.
I like how it brings back.
Now, cursed queen, I'm taking this part of your soul, as I took away Nyris's ability to love. What you called your essence is yours no more.
You cannot tell whether you're protected by your words or something more, the essence of your soul, but the attack of the eldest was parried. You
Let
bluffed!
us continue. We both wear a crown. But what do you want? A meager patch of land, a few thousand souls? My dominion is chaos and magic, madness and deceit. Your power is nothing compared to mine. And that is why you are helpless before me. You will take my every blow as a divine punishment, as something imminent.
You love to wreak havoc, play pranks, while I care nothing more than the good of my people, and I know my way is right. I get my power from the endless loyalty of my subjects. Can you make a similar boast? My kingdom is strong with its warriors and can always protect itself. That means I can. I'm gonna go with the first one. I get my power from endless loyalty of my subjects now. You feel strange, as if wrapped by an invisible veil that protects you from the eldest wrath. And its source is yet your curse. And its source is yet your curse. It bound you to your kingdom, and through this bond can pass not only pain but death, but power as well.
I'm curious what you think of me, cursed queen. Do you see me as a villain or a simple joker? In truth, well, everyone can conceive of the truth. Being an eldest means being one of the many strings that hold the world in place. Being an eldest means being such a vast and self-sufficient value that one's equals become strangers and one's inferiors are entirely insignificant. I am an eldest. Laughter, guile, transformation, that's what I am. Being what I am, I will let you feel a modicum of my loneliness. I will take away your pillar of strength.
No, you won't. Having lost all the support, you face this deity alone. Silence hangs over the ruined throne room. Required good. Also, I'm using a mod that lets me, just so you know, that lets me see all of and use all of the alignment choices. I actually prefer playing it this way versus the way the game ships, where you can only see the choices for the alignments that are close to yours. I like it because it lets me be a little more spontaneous, and some of the other alignment choices I like better than the ones that were offered to me. I won't allow such an evil to happen. Being what I am, I will retrieve what is taken from me. Or, you don't have the right to take anything from me, eldest, but I have the right to retrieve what is taken unfairly. I am beyond your power, eldest, yours or anyone else's, but being what I am, I will change what you have. I actually like the neutral response. They all say, but I have the right to retrieve what is taken unfairly. I'm going to just go with the good response. That's why frightened like a living creature, the blistering metal of the curse cools and it hurts. The pain is no longer unbearable. You stand before the eldest as a blazing star, and he looks as you have seen you for the first time.
Good. You can play with words. Let us see if you can withstand the heat of my fire.
I'm not afraid.
Where is everybody? It's just me? This is gonna be bad. Oh no, we're all here.
Can someone help me?
I don't know if I'm doing it. Did we do it? I couldn't see his hit points. You have had a chance to see a star die. Spots of cold, lifeless darkness over the fiery form of the Lantern King, growing and devouring with a dull moan, sucking onto the ground. A moment later, right where the eldest crown lay burning, another shining image is born. It grows, glowing, turning into a familiar silhouette wearing a crown.
Defeat. What a refreshing feeling. I don't remember sensing it for a dozen millennia. But what's next? How will you end this story? Listen, I know a good ending. Elegant and refined. The hero defeats a deity in battle. Impressive, he corrects the victor, power, and immortality. The hero enters the chambers of the deity to become his champion and herald. Eternal, powerful, equally glorified both in the first world and in Valeria. Her kingdom healed from its wounds and flourished under the rule of the immortal champion. A beautiful ending, isn't it? And this legend is yours for the asking.
No, we deny you.
This is not your hour, eldest. You've tormented us enough for your cruel entertainments.
You seem so confident, Magus. I'm intrigued. But what is it that you and your chosen are planning to do with an immortal deity? What power do you have that I do not?
I will not bow to you. I wonder if I'm supposed to do that.
Look into the eyes of your lost image, Lantern King. Look at what you once were, and listen to my words. You made me your puppet, but I have won my freedom. You stole the essence of my soul, but now it is returned.
I like how she's looking at me.
You cursed me, but I do not accept this curse. I reject the path you cut for me. I will not be what you would make me. I fear no punishment. I will not bow, and I will not turn back.
Awesome.
I do not seek your forgiveness.
Narissa stops with her last word. An incredible ice-cold silence falls upon the ravaged throne room. All the sounds die. The air leaves your chest without a whisper. Heart beats quietly. Yet in the silence, something lives. Flashes swiftly. The echo of Narissa's words. The echo of the desire to live, to love, and to atone for what she's done. The echo rolls farther and farther away from you, like a wave catching up with the fragments of the first cup, sweeping away the shadows of the dead kingdoms. You cannot see it, but with all of your being, you feel the moment when the echo reaches the farthest boundaries of the kingdom, stops, and then rushes back. The Lantern King senses a threat, but now it's beyond his power to change anything. His focus of the coming wave, as he strikes, silence cracks, exploding into 1,000 moans and sighs. The dust destroys the destroyed kingdoms, the grief of dead souls, thousands of years of pointless destruction, a hopeless search for what is lost. In a heartbeat, all crashing down upon the eldest, impaling his very being and tearing off his final mask. And for a brief moment, you look into the abyss that hides the name Lantern King. And what is there? Light, laughter, bolts of lightning, or thoughts of an ancient mind, mighty and strange? You haven't time to comprehend what you see, but you know one thing for true: the Lantern King is cursed. The Lantern King is mortal. The punishment he heaped upon Nerissa returned to him and taken his precious immortality. It is your turn to speak. Eldest, by your curse, the one ruling kingdom will die with it. But I am no longer the ruler of these lands. You have stolen them from me, and so you will bear the burden of the curse. You will not bring your evil here, Eldest. I will fight you for eternity if I must protect what I cherish. No, we're not going to do that. You have no power over me, Eldest, and neither does your curse. I kind of like the neutral response. By your curse, the woes of the kingdom will fall upon those who rule by it, and so by my royal power I fight you rule. I don't know, the lawful one is pretty good. You have stolen it from me, so you will bear the burden of the curse.
How strong is your belief in the order of things, Hel?
This is all the Lantern King is able to say. You feel a heavy burden, an invisible, ominous lift from your shoulders, and a dash towards your enemy. The enemy who is now, after Nerissa's words, mortal and vulnerable. Your curse falls upon the eldest like a gravestone. The power that was tearing your soul apart along with your kingdom now devours him, and faster than one can imagine, a light flashes out. The power fades. A moment later, all you see is a fiery crown tumbling to the ground, shattering, with a piercing. With this final sound, the ground around you begins to tremble. Nerissa rushes towards you and clenches your hand. There is no fear on the inside, just hope and tenderness. She is the first to realize what is happening. The city and the kingdom are returning to Golarion.
That's how the story ended. The Lantern King vanished without a trace, and we never heard from him again. Nerissa helped return the kingdom to Golarion and followed her beloved there. After celebrating the victory with great fanfare, everyone began work on restoration efforts. Nerissa helped the queen in every way possible, and she quickly came to be loved across the country. No one would have thought that this kind nymph was a former villain, so recently guilty of causing all those afflictions.
And by death! Spoilers!
Under the wise leadership of the queen, the stolen lands became a true country. There was still much to be done, of course, and some of it will need to be finished by our heroine's descendants. But there are no longer cut purses on every corner, and the peasants aren't afraid some new self-proclaimed chief will show up and strong-arm himself into power.
I need to go look, in the Pathfinder pen and paper RPG, I know this was like one of their long campaign things. At the end of that, did they actually change the River Kingdoms to Stolen Lands? Is there a new country founded by this adventurers that they wrote into their lore?
The Stolen Lands are called the Land of Popular Rule, for in these lands, common people feel fully in control of their fates. Unfortunately, the total absence of authority allowed one of the richest regions of the kingdom to proclaim itself an independent republic, and retrieving those territories came at a rather high price for the queen. Just half a year after the war with the First World, Galt moved its troops to the southern border of the kingdom. Their attack was rebuffed, The enemy state's infantry could do little against soldiers who were skilled with their swords and knew the military arts better than the alphabet. Since then, Galt hasn't risked crossing any borders again, fearing cruel retaliation for further insolence.
I wonder if some of that was because of that last choice I made, where I gave up my...
How do you turn the stolen lands, savage and unruly, into a stronghold of safety and stability? The Queen found an answer by creating a police state.
What?
There are always some who are unhappy with the excessive interference advisors have in the citizens' lives, of course, but their protests are easily overlooked.
What made that happen?
The feud between Brevois North and South, which had been smoldering for ages, never sparked the fires of civil war.
Good grief.
Through great effort, our queen managed to bring both parties to the negotiating table.
The police state was a little
While
harsh there.
Rothland didn't gain its independence, it did receive wide autonomy rights. Our relationships with both House Sertova and the Sword Lords are respectful, but they've become lukewarm. Because of us, neither side got everything they wanted. Casil Aldori settled in our capital, though he left politics to teach dueling. Led by careful, level-headed Dugath, the Tiger Lord's tribe reunited and started to lick the wounds left by the erratic Armagh. Little by little, they once again became one of the strongest mercenary armies in the region. Dugath always assured our queen of his friendship, but the queen always stayed on her toes, understanding that anything could happen when that old fox is around.
I like Dugath.
Pitax almost returned to its former state, a joyful city filled with beers of dubious quality and deals of questionable legality. The old trade houses lost the crown, but they retrieved the property Iravetti had taken from them. Soon, Pitax became almost like a second capital in the kingdom, a thriving city through which rivers of money from across the region ran. Unfortunately, we get much less of this money than we would like. Governor Liachenza turned out to be helpless against widespread embezzlement.
No, it's better than putting the black market guy in charge.
Maestro Bellavera gave the Academy of the Arts a second wind. Throwing out mediocre students and sycophants, she gathered within its walls talented visionaries, rebels, and freethinkers, those whose gifts felt cramped within the walls of more respectable institutions. She managed to do what Iravetti never could, namely make the Academy truly famous, albeit scandalously so.
That's okay.
So what if instead of odes to the Queen, the Academy releases sneering pamphlets and revolutionary leaflets? It only helps her reputation as a true patron of the arts.
That's right.
Trolls and kobolds, two of the most savage native peoples living in the Gnarl Marches, were completely exterminated in the region. The forest paths became much safer, and the peasants' cattle have stopped going missing.
Well, we kind of told the kobolds to leave.
Bartholomew Delgado still serves the Queen loyally. From time to time, he orders peculiar mechanisms and substances from all corners of the world. After receiving them, he spends a few days bragging about some great discovery he's about to make, then ends up gloomy for a few months. Then he receives another package, and the process repeats itself. At night, chilling screams are often heard from his laboratory.
Yeah, don't mess with Bartholomew.
After enduring so many storms and troubles, Varnhold eventually turned into a real city. Daring settlers decided to conquer the vast, wild expanses of Dunsword, and despite all odds, they succeeded. The modest colony that almost vanished at the hands of an ancient lich turned everything around to become a thriving city with lively river trading.
Yay!
Magar Varn and his beloved, after distinguishing themselves in the battle for the kingdom, soon celebrated their wedding.
Oh, I'm so glad they were
Half
reunited.
the capital was invited, but they weren't ready to settle down, and have already set off with another party of mercenaries. They've come to the aid of our kingdom on multiple occasions, but they're famous for their adventures in the most dangerous regions of Golarion, protecting peaceful towns from the undead and monsters. peace reigns in the caves beneath the old sycamore.
Man, I love
the
this
kobolds
ending.
and mites continue to
Awesome.
explore the depths and learn simple crafts from each other. Rumor has it, the first mite kobold wedding even happened not long ago. That said, settlers still aren't rushing to build new homes in the area. Some kind souls even put up warning signs along the roads. Beware, traveler. Steer clear of the old sycamore. Another inscription soon appeared over the sign, though. No keep going treasure ahead honest.
No keep growing treasure and
Oleg's trading post continues to thrive, attracting even more travelers. Much to its owner's displeasure, a small town is springing up around it. Despite Oleg's grumbling, he and his wife are well regarded by everyone, and Svetlana was even elected town chief.
awesome.
Jod and Keston, after surviving the bloom, remained loyal to the queen they followed through thick and thin, and they continue to serve as court advisors to this day. The austere priest and the gloomy warrior regularly argue over the proper way to govern the state, as well as which of the two rulers should hear out first. Some things never change. Keston Gares took a post as chief of the kingdom's guard. The former heir to a noble family never returned to Brevoy, severing all ties to his kin. However, a few years after the victory over the First World, a girl arrived from Brevoy and soon married Keston. They say Keston started smiling a lot more after that.
Did he ever smile?
Jod remained loyal to the queen to the end of his days, healing the sick and generously sharing his austere wisdom with anyone who wished to hear it, and some who didn't. Having fulfilled his duty to the ruler, Erastil's priest peacefully departed this world, surrounded by friends and disciples. Tasana, Lamashtu's priestess, didn't remain in the queen's service for long. One night, she just disappeared from the castle and set off for the kingdom's borders, preaching to anyone who would listen and granting the needy the blessing of the Mother of Monsters.
She's a little creepy. I'm not sad to see her go.
Having participated in Lamashtu's ritual, Olika gave birth to a strong and healthy baby. Sadly, the child grew into an unruly and violent adolescent. Having maimed a peer at just 10 years of age, the boy escaped to the Gnarl Marches, fleeing the rage of a mob that tore his mother to pieces instead. No one knows what happened to the lad, but legends of Lamashtu's child, who sometimes kills lost travelers and sometimes leads them to safety, are passed on by word of mouth throughout the area.
Interesting.
The lizard folk of the Longtail tribe returned to live on the shores of Candlemere, but they couldn't return to their ancient way of life. Living alongside people, the lizard folk adopted their behaviors, habits, and even religion. More and more of the Longtail tribe pray not to the spirits of their ancestors, but to Erastil or Gorum. They even began to forget their original language. I hope someone writes down their songs and legends before they all sink into oblivion.
Yep.
The goblins who put so much effort into preserving the Queen's lands obviously felt that gave them the right to do whatever they wanted in the kingdom. Travelers are careful to move in groups when they can, and any peasants who spot at least one particularly toothy stranger immediately raise the alarm. For if you see one goblin, there's likely a whole gang. A delegation of wizards from Absalom and other areas appeared in the kingdom one day, asking for permission to examine the lair of the Lich Farniris the Thoughtful. After completing their research, the wizards spent a long time thanking the Queen for freeing the world of that monster. In their opinion, he'd been capable of causing the end of the world, maybe even 2 worlds.
Glad we took care of that.
The sweet teeth departed on a journey, hoping to see as many wonders as possible of this world and others. They keep sending us news from every corner of the map. Their bright painted wagon, drawn by a bull mastodon, crisscrosses Galarian, somehow appearing in the center of one incredible story after another. Evindra settled down in the Tuskwater and visits the capital often. She became a friend to the people of the kingdom, helping them and teaching them how to treat the lake life with care. Parents allow their children to swim in the Tuskwater at any time, day or night, secure in the knowledge that she'll look out for them.
Yay, glad we helped her.
After the victory, the storyteller abandoned his affairs and began spending a lot of time alone in contemplation. He eventually bid farewell to the queen and left her lands. But I suspect the inhabitants of Golarion haven't heard the last of this mysterious traveler, for his own story is hardly finished. Amiri remained a pariah to her native tribe, but she stayed close friends with Nylak, who ruled the Six Bears wisely and taught them to survive in the unfamiliar plains and cities. The restless barbarian would often travel for long stretches of time, but sooner or later she would always return to her old friends, bragging about new scars and recounting new feats, many of which Nylak immortalized in song.
Awesome.
Valerie stayed to serve the queen, and to this day, she continues to be a muse to many
Valerie,
people.
you were awesome.
Not just bards and admirers,
You were my
but to
all-time
warriors
companion.
as well. Honest and resilient, Valerie is not just famous for her feats in battle, but also for her patience and kindness, which
She's
she
one of the queen's
says the
best
queen
friends.
helped her discover within herself. Harren became famous, respected by dwarves throughout our kingdom as well as our neighbors,
He hated
even
that.
as far as the Five Kings Mountains. He's often been asked to help out or teach others, and he's never denied anyone, despite his grumbling. Some people even listen to his preaching. Lucky for us, there's a lot less howling about the end of the world now, and more wise words of moderation and humility. Not all of his disciples turned to Grotus, but everyone took away something useful from his teachings.
Good job, Harem.
Jaethal spent some time at the Queen's court, but she then left to do whatever it was her new goddess required. She must have become a great inquisitor for Pharasma, as no one would know the ways of the undead and Urgathoa's cultists, as well as a former undead cultist would. She was also seen in the company of Salim Godafar. It's unlikely the two became friends, being so different from one another, but it's a known fact that they worked together.
I wonder if she's in any of the books.
Octavia didn't stay still for very long. Soon, she and Reg went to Numeria and started a huge slave rebellion there. They
I wonder
didn't
if that's in
manage
the
to
pen and
destroy
paper
the
books. Are there
Technic
adventures
League,
with them?
but to this day, slaves speak their names with admiration, and slavers with terror. Over the course of their journey, the two grew as close as ever, leaving their quarrels and resentments behind.
Did
After
Reg stop being
returning
a
from
jerk?
Numeria, Octavia settled in her mother's house and became the Queen's advisor and loyal companion.
I like Octavia. She was also one of my
Rigongar
regulars.
left for Numeria with Octavia to start a slave rebellion. Over the journey, he really matured and learned to understand others, as well as how to control his anger.
Oh, good job.
After he returned, he took a position in the Queen's court.
Yeah, he was a good general.
Being both formidable and charming, he inspired fear in the hearts of some and lust in others. There are even some rumors that he almost talked Octavia into marrying him, and possibly even continuing the Della Fiorni line.
Oh gosh, please no.
Tristan stayed in the Stolen Lands. Endowed with a special blessing of Sarenrae, the priest became known as a great healer and went on to perform many more
I
miracles.
really like Tristan.
I'd say the Movonic Diva deserves the right to rejoin Sarenrae's divine army. I hope the goddess will think the same when Tristan's hour comes and his soul is up for a new judgment. After the war ended, Ekin hung his bow on the wall and traded the path of the ranger in for the craft of the carpenter.
Ekin was awesome.
It may not be the most heroic ending to a tragic story like his, but as Torag is my witness, Ekin's happy with it, as is Alina, who became
good,
his
they did
wife
get
and
married.
is bearing his child. Any baby born into this family will be pretty lucky, since the queen herself still visits her old friend and will likely become the child's patron. Jubilost returned to the life of a traveling explorer, frequently visiting his favorite kingdom. He said so himself.
The Borderlands.
His famous work studying the First World all opened with a dedication to his longtime companion, the Queen. Another name was also mentioned, 2Z, my guide and inspiration. Admirers would ask Jubilost many times about this mystery lady, but he would only chuckle, pitch his knapsack on his shoulder, and return to storm the vast expanses of the First World once again.
Oh, awesome.
As for Knock Knock, apologies, I mean Hero Knock Knock, he continued his questionably heroic efforts in the Stolen Lands. Despite whatever mess he fell into, no matter the danger he leapt into, he always seemed to scrape through just a little better off than before.
Good job, Knock Knock.
Like true heroes, he simply never gave up, struggling on and meeting the challenge of each new day with a spirit that no mishap or misfortune could ever quell. The slightly inaccurate statue of him and the Queen still stands in the square to this day, the two figures side by side. I've always felt that, while the heights may be a bit off, let's say it accurately reflects the size and spirit of the goblin hero who'd been nurtured by the teachings of his Queen.
Knock Knock was great.
Nyrissa and her beloved Queen live happily together, setting up the kingdom hand in hand. Their union somehow linked the unruliness of the First World with the order of material plane. Nyrissa managed to bring forth the daring vision for which she had once been cursed, the creation of her dream country. Our kingdom is now a flourishing land, taking the best of both wild nature and structured civilization. And our capital is an amazing garden city, which visitors from all over Golarion come to see.
Awesome.
As for myself,
well, I became a book.
The author of this book, Lindsay, who never chose a pretty nickname, I'm still here, inside my creation, within the Capital Library. I live just like I always dreamed, surrounded by people and books, and not a day goes by without someone turning my pages. My story inspired many others to take up the quill. My readers have written many beautiful books and poems, transporting prisoners of humdrum lives into worlds of endless fantasy. What more could I dream of? I hope, O honored reader, that this story inspired some creativity in you, or at least offered some entertainment.
Offered me
In
much.
any case, it's time to set the final period.
You were great, Lindsay. Choke me up. That's it. We're done. So that quest with the tieflings just goes undone. Well, let's do this. Let's look through the credits here. Well, I kind of figured I wouldn't be doing a second playthrough anytime soon, so I kind of made it, kind of worked it in my favor. I did use some mods to get around a little bit. I don't mind. The game was really good, excellent work, and really, really fun. Really, really fun. We're gonna let this, I guess these were all their supporters. I'm gonna let that play, I guess. I mean, I don't really want to go through like hours and hours of Kickstarter people. That's not the people who made the game. I'm thankful for them providing support. But yeah, we're not gonna do that. Let's go here. Here we go. And who is there? Oleg Chipulus. Can't say these names. Sorry, I'm not gonna butcher Russian. Tarkova. That's awesome. art director. Narrative design team, man, these guys, everybody really knocked it out of the park. The art was great, audio was great, UI was really good. Yeah, honestly, great work, QA. I only had 4 crashes in 230 hours. And they could have been resulting from James L. Sutter. He's the one who wrote the one book that had Gadafar in it. So I guess that's why we got that character. Oh, Chris Avalone. Cool. More Alcat? Oh, outsources. I bet outsourcing did a lot here. Great job, though. Great. Man, fantastic. What do we got here? Oh, Pazio. Alright. Great. They definitely deserve credit. Oh, and then the publisher. Man, I hope they have more games coming. I don't know what my.com is, but... Thank you for playing. Oh, and I like this, that you can search for a name. You search for Chris. There's a lot of Chris's. That's cool. Awesome. Well, that is it. Next game on my list is a adventure game called Basis. Game. It was recommended to me from a friend of mine. It's top-down point-and-click adventure game, I think. It's an isometric point-and-click sci-fi horror adventure game set in the distant future aboard a seemingly abandoned spacecraft. So we're gonna give that a go. It's from a couple years ago. I picked it up for like $3. So that's on our list. We'll probably start that tomorrow. Tonight, now I can go pick up some other games. So I got Mech Warrior Mercenaries coming out in a week. A little over a week and a half. And there's some games on sale on the Steam store. Maybe we'll go we need to go back to Divinity Original Sin 2. Pick that back up. I don't know if I can even remember how to play. I still want to go back. I started Pillars of Eternity 1, and I don't know, I got part of the way through it, and it didn't really hold my interest, so I really don't know why. But I've heard 2 is really good, so maybe I'll pick that up. But next game is going to be Stasis. We have Mech Warrior Mercenaries. And maybe little quick hits of some other things I pick up. But for now, I'm going to be off. I'll be back on tonight playing something at around 10 o'clock Central Time. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Z, for stopping by and watching me finish up. I'll have to hop on tonight and let all the people that have been up with me overnight in this marathon session, and maybe we replay the very end again and pick a different choice to see how this thing plays out. But I really don't. I really feel really good about this end. So it was a great game. Thanks, Alcat, and we'll see everybody later tonight.